Table of Grace is an emergency shelter for foster kids. We provide shelter, independent living skills, love activities, everything in a normal household you would do for a child, we do here. I went into foster care at the age of 2, and by the time I was about 15, I had been in 10 different placements. When I finally asked my caseworker if I could just go into a group home. Russ Hansen was the group home therapist, and I remember telling him that I wanted to get legally emancipated. And he didn't brush off my goal or my hope, and instead encouraged me and told me that I could do it. This therapist saw me not for what I was, but for what I could be. And he believed in me, and he helped me get a job and get prepared to be on my own. And when I was 16, I ended up getting emancipated. After I got emancipated, I worked and lived, and I graduated high school, and everything was going well. I was a financial advisor for about 8 years, and then I decided that I wanted to move to Austin, Texas. I had lived in Texas for about a year, I think, when I met Bill. I told him about my dream and said, someday I want to open a shelter for foster kids. And at the end of dinner, I remember him saying, well, you know, if that's your dream, I think you should just do it.
She was like, no, there's no way I can do this. To me, there was no way she couldn't do this.
That night, he ended up emailing me an ebook called The Step-by-Step Guide to Opening a Group Home. And by the next morning at 10 a.m., I had read that entire book, and I was on step 5, ready to go. I actually thought that I was going to go from business to business and tell them what I was doing, and they were just gonna write me checks. And it turns out that's not really how it works.
But she saw that people were attracted to her story, to her passion, to her energy, and wanted to help. And through a series of miracles, this whole thing started, and it just grew, and bigger donors got involved until we had a building, and we had everything we needed so that we could open Central Texas Table of Grace.
When I train new employees, I like to read them a letter that I wrote to my therapist who changed my life, Russ. Because sometimes our employees can end up feeling like maybe they're not making such a difference, but I'll say, you might have changed a child's life forever and made something so wonderful for them, and you'll never find out. He's truly what inspired me to open the shelter, because I know that if this one man never entered my life would be much different. And I don't think it would be in a good way.